The smartphone world never stands still, and every few months we see something new that changes the conversation. Right now, one of the hottest topics is the iPhone Air. Apple launched this device earlier this month, presenting it as the slimmest iPhone ever made. But what makes things even more exciting is that Huawei seems to be preparing its own response. According to new leaks, the company could introduce a Huawei Mate 80 Air model alongside its upcoming flagship lineup. So, what exactly does this mean? Let's break it down. The iPhone Air has been trending because it goes back to a familiar design language. Interestingly, this slim design is very close to something Huawei itself did about a decade ago with the Nexus 6P. Now it looks like Huawei is ready to turn the tables by releasing its own Air model in the Mate 80 series. Directly challenging Apple's newest device, the rumor comes from a well-known Weibo tipster who has already shared details about the Mate 80 Pro Plus. That model is expected to come with some serious high-end specifications, including a massive 6,000 mAh battery, up to 24 GB of RAM, and storage that could go all the way to terabytes. Those specs alone put the Mate 80 Pro Plus in a completely different league of performance smartphones. But the real surprise in the leak is the mention of a Mate 80 Air. Unlike the Pro Plus model, which is all about maximum performance, this Air version is said to focus on innovation and design. The tipster explained that the phone could introduce to standout technologies, full eSIM support, and a micro-pump fluid cooling system. Let's start with eSIM. Most smartphones today still use physical SIM cards, but eSIM is becoming the future. With full eSIM technology, users don't need a physical SIM tray at all. This means more space inside the phone, which manufacturers can use for other improvements like bigger batteries or slimmer designs. It also makes switching carriers much easier since you don't need to swap tiny SIM cards anymore. If Huawei really pushes full eSIM, the Mate 80 Air, it could give the phone a big edge in terms of convenience and modern design. The second big innovation is the micro-pump fluid cooling system. Typically, powerful smartphones require fans or large cooling chambers to keep them from overheating. But fans take up space and can make the device bulkier. With micro-pump fluid technology, Huawei could deliver cooling without a fan. The system would distribute heat evenly across the phone, keeping performance stable even during heavy gaming or multitasking. That would allow the Mate 80 Air to stay slim while still handling demanding tasks. What makes this even more interesting is that the Mate 80 Air is rumored to be a cost-effective flagship. That means Huawei may position it as a more affordable option compared to the Pro and Pro Plus models, but without cutting away too many features. This strategy could make it a very attractive choice for people who want a sleek design, strong performance, and modern features, without paying the highest flagship prices. Of course, we should be careful with these details. At this point, Huawei hasn't officially confirmed the existence of the Mate 80 Air. All of this information comes from leaks and tipsters, so it's always possible that things will change before launch. But looking at Huawei's track record, it's clear the company is never afraid to experiment and bring bold new ideas to its devices. We also know that the Mate 80 series in general will bring several improvements across the board. Reports suggest that apart from a new Kirin chip, Huawei is planning refreshed imaging functions, meaning upgraded cameras with better processing and new photography features. This makes sense since Huawei has always invested heavily in smartphone photography, often setting trends for the entire industry. If we look at the bigger picture, the Mate 80 series could be shaping up to be one of Huawei's most competitive flagship lineups yet. With the Mate 80 Pro Plus delivering beast-level hardware and the Mate 80 Air focusing on slim design and cutting-edge innovations, Huawei could appeal to a wide range of users. And with Apple's iPhone Air already gaining attention, this head-to-head battle could define the next phase of the smartphone market. So, what should we expect next? Huawei typically announces its new Mate series in the fall, and leaks suggest we don't have to wait too long before the official reveal. Until then, all eyes will be on whether the Mate 80 Air is real, and if it can stand toe-to-toe with Apple's iPhone Air. One thing is for sure, competition is heating up, and that means consumers win. Whether you prefer Apple or Huawei, both companies are pushing each other to innovate faster and bring new features that make our devices slimmer, more powerful, and smarter than ever before. The Huawei Mate 80 Air might just be the start of a new wave of ultra-slim yet powerful smartphones. And if Huawei pulls it off, we could see the Mate series reclaim some of its lost global momentum. For now, let's wait for the official announcement, but the rumors definitely make things exciting.